Hello, 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 Andrew here. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about Mint Mobile, why my family changed to it, and what our service has been like for the first couple of months. Mint Mobile is a cell phone service provider owned by Ryan Reynolds. You may know that name because he got famous serving coffee to Betty White during that movie that you never watched.
You should know
When
that.
Betty White says she wants a cup of coffee, you get her a cup of coffee.
Who am I kidding? He's actually famous from that movie, The Green Lantern.
God damn, that's beautiful. You're welcome, Canada.
Mint Mobile doesn't actually have their own network. Instead, they go ahead and use the roaming network of T-Mobile. Now, T-Mobile broadcasts itself as being the best network in the entire country, and Mint Mobile is just the middleman that you're purchasing from to get that good service. We'll get more into that later. As to why I actually decided to change, there was three main reasons. First and foremost, Mint proclaims that they're basically the cheapest cell phone service on the market. I wanted to find out if it was true. I'm personally coming from Verizon, where even with my military discount and being a loyal customer for 10 years, we were still paying in excess of $200 every single month for 4 lines and a gizmo. Second, around January 2021, I couldn't get service in my own house anymore. And that was really getting annoying. It didn't matter what I would do. My own phone, I would have 0 bars in my basement. It became a big issue when trying to talk to people out of my own home. That in the middle of January, I had to go outside, stand in the road, and hope that I was going to get blessed by the cell phone tower gods in order to get some sort of decent service. And it's not like I'm using old phones either. This phone here that I had service issues with was an iPhone 12 Pro. So it didn't matter if I was using new technology or old technology, it was just a pain in the butt to actually get service here at home. As far as the third reason, when you call Verizon and some of these big companies, they've become so reliant on AI to answer all of your questions that if it becomes a nuanced question that AI hasn't answered before, they don't know what to do. I had a very hard time getting in touch with people multiple times when I had issues. I mean, I would be on phone waits for 30, 40, 45 minutes, and they consistently tried to ask me, hey, can we call you back and you'll save your place in line? Well, when I'm calling from an area that I have to stand outside in order to get service with you, and I can't be in my house, no, I can't afford you to call me back. I'm going to go sit my happy butt out in the cold and just wait for your freaking butt to go ahead and answer the phone instead. And you can tell that they just the people on the other side of the phone, I wouldn't say they weren't cheery, right? They were as good as they can be working for a major corporation. I always felt like I wasn't getting the good customer service that I remembered 10 years ago when I was going with Verizon. As far as my onboarding process went, I honestly think it was really simple. I tried it out online. Yeah, that means that I went to their website on my phone and downloaded something called an eSIM, which means I didn't have to go to a Mint Mobile store in order to get hooked up. And I was able to have 2 lines on my phone at the exact same time. And I went all the way around the house, talking to people, hey, I'm on Mint Mobile service right now, and then be like, try to call me back, I'll go to Verizon, and it won't go nowhere, right? But it was funny to go around and be like, hey, I got bars for Mint, but I got no bars for Verizon, right? Because it show you what your service is in both at the same point in time. And that trial period, that 7 days where I realized what my use case was totally I'm in, right? To have service in my own house, I was 100% in. The other thing I'll say about the onboarding service is, since it is at home, I will say since it is at home, if you have any issues technologically, then it's not necessarily as intuitive as putting together an IKEA cabinet. However, you can get somebody on the phone with Mint Mobile. You can. And they may not know what they're doing either, but at least you won't feel like Ryan Reynolds talking to Betty White trying to go to get her coffee, right? You'll be treated with respect. So, to be fair, I have to say, when getting on board with Mint Mobile, I was pretty impressed overall. So as far as what has service been like this first 2 or 3 months, well, I gotta be real, having cell phone service in my own house is kind of cool, right? Like, I forgot how much I missed it. I was actually considering getting a landline before this because I was getting that annoyed down here in my basement office where I could not get service and I couldn't talk to people. Second, I picked the unlimited plans for all the phones that we have. And even after picking the unlimited plans, I'm paying basically half the amount that I was paying before. It's pretty amazing that, like, I'm paying so much less and actually able to talk on the phone. And lastly, Mint Mobile has this application that they got that will actually tell you when you're coming up to the end of your contract whether or not you should be opting to go down in size of the plan and you're just wasting money. I keep getting these emails now from every one of the lines that's in my plan because you have to buy a separate contract for each and then you manage them as a family group organizer. And I keep getting emails saying, well, this line isn't using all of its data and you should be really going down. We recommend you go down to this individual plan. Now, I'm originally paying for 4 lines right now with $30 unlimited plans each, but I'm being told that I should be saving an additional $40 for all 4 plans because nobody's using that much data when they leave the house. If that's the case, I really can't complain that a company's actually coming to me and telling me to save money. Like, who does that today? And because everybody's got to have their failures, just like Boltneck.
Boltneck was a masterpiece!
The biggest issue you'll have as a Mint Mobile customer will be the idea that you're on the T-Mobile network. Now that's fine for overall coverage. However, as a Mint Mobile customer, you'll be deprioritized when it comes to actual data downloads. If you're in an area where there's a lot of T-Mobile people, then expect your downloads to take a little bit longer. I don't seem to mind, and I honestly don't use a ton of data when I'm out unless I'm actually using driving directions. The other thing is, since you'll be going off the T-Mobile network, your service coverage may be different than what you're coming from. So it may take a little bit getting used to that certain areas where you had service before, maybe now you might struggle and drop under an overpass or something. The third and final thing that you have to get used to as a Mint Mobile customer is the fact it's a prepaid service, which means that you're going to be paying for your yearly contracts all up front. Now, it's a lot less than what you're paying for, again, Verizon or AT&T. However, you've got to get used to taking that hit right up front. All in all, even though my wife would tell you it's only marginally better than Verizon, since it's half the cost and we can use it at home, it's a huge win for our family. Especially since this company is contacting us back after our trial period of 3 months and telling us, hey, we should be even trying to save more money using their data plans. I mean, in today's day and age where everybody's worried about inflation and hyperinflation, it's great to see a company like Mint Mobile out there that's really changing the dynamic and offering good customer service at a very reasonable price. Well, that about wraps up today's episode. What I want to know, though, is how you feel about Mint Mobile as a cell phone service. Tell me about it down in the comments below. And while you're down there, consider hitting that thumbs up button, clicking that subscribe button, and consider sharing this with one of your friends. It really does help out the channel. And if you haven't done so already, make certain you ding that notification bell so you're informed every time we produce a new video here on the Dad Manual. We try to do videos twice every single week. Our next video is going to be about Mint Mobile. But if you'd like to check out something else that we reviewed Starlink recently, and you can check out my review of how it performs right over here. Until next time, I'm Andrew Sherman. This is the Dad Manual. And remember, failure isn't bad. Failure to try and learn is. Have a good one.